As you can see, these are all my babies.
She's not just a fighter, she's a force of nature. Speed in both hands, precision in every punch, and power that echoes across 7-weight division. Amanda Serrano doesn't talk much, because her record says it all. Over 40 victories, 7 world titles in 7 weight classes. A career built not on hype, but on dominance, discipline, and destruction. In every ring she steps into, whether boxing or MMA, Serrano doesn't just compete, she takes control. And beyond the ropes, she lives like the champion she is. Private flights, high-end deals, a legacy already cemented in gold and grit. So, before we explore the records, the reign, and the raw power of Amanda Serrano, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Before the belts, before the sold-out arenas ever spoke her name, there was a quiet girl born on October 9th, 1988, in Carolina, Puerto Rico. She didn't chase attention. She didn't demand space. Yet somehow, she grew into a presence the sport could no longer ignore. Amanda Serrano didn't enter combat sports with noise or bravado. She arrived like pressure. Slow, relentless, inevitable. When her family moved to Brooklyn, Puerto Rican culture surrounded her. Salsa drifting through the streets, Spanglish on every corner, pride stitched into everyday life. She wasn't the loud one. She wasn't the obvious prodigy. But beneath that calm surface, something dangerous was quietly taking shape. She didn't learn boxing for applause. While others chased hype, she chased mastery. And over time, the results began to stack. One division, then another, then another. History didn't announce itself. It unfolded. 7 weight classes, 7 world titles, a Guinness World Record built on discipline, pressure, and endurance, not flash. Dozens of victories earned the hard way, reshaping what women in boxing were allowed to be and how far they were allowed to go. Then came 2022, Madison Square Garden, Serrano versus Katie Taylor. The first women to headline the most famous arena in the world. 10 rounds that changed the sport forever and signaled that women's boxing had arrived at the highest level for good. And still, she kept moving forward. Into MMA, into wrestling, into spaces no one invited her into. By 2025, a lifetime deal with Most Valuable Promotion secured her future beyond the ring, and with it a net worth estimated at around $10 million. Every dollar earned through pressure, patience, and years of sacrifice when no one was watching. But none of that happened overnight. Because before the records, before the history, before the world finally caught on, Amanda Serrano had to build everything the hard way. And that journey, the fights, the setbacks, the moments that forged her, is where her story truly begins. By the time she graduated from high school at 17, Amanda wasn't just walking into a gym. She was charging toward destiny, each step measured, each heartbeat synced with the promise of what she would become. Her amateur career was brief, yet blistering. Only 10 fights, but each one a declaration. This quiet girl from Brooklyn was not here to participate. She was here to conquer. Winning the Staten Island Championship, the New York Golden Gloves, toppling national champions. It all signaled the arrival of a force few could anticipate. Guided by her brother-in-law and trainer, Jordan Maldonado, Amanda stepped into the professional ranks with more than skill. She carried a calculated intensity, a storm barely contained. June 11th, 2011, marked her professional debut. A minute and a few seconds was all it took for Amanda to knock out Jennifer Scott, claiming the WBC NAF featherweight title. But the climb was far from flawless. In 2012, a controversial loss in Sweden to Frida Wahlberg tested her resolve. The gloves were mismatched, the judging questionable. Yet, she left the ring not broken, but sharper, more dangerous, a setback that would become her catapult. She returned to dominate. In Argentina, she dethroned Maria Maderna to claim the WBO lightweight title. Back in New York, Olivia Garula fell in a single round. Every victory was more than a win. It was a statement. By 2017, Serrano had achieved what no woman had before: 5 world titles across multiple divisions. She didn't stop there. 6. Then 7. In January 2019, she dropped Eva Vorberger in 35 seconds to secure the WBO Super Flyweight belt. With that victory, Amanda joined an elite pantheon alongside Manny Pacquiao, becoming one of the only fighters, male or female, to claim major world titles in 7 different divisions. Each fight was more than personal glory. It was a demonstration that history could be rewritten by those who refuse to accept limitations. The interim WBC featherweight title added to her growing collection, and by 2021, full champion status followed, setting her sights on unification. When the WBC refused to sanction a 12-round, 3-minute bout against Daniela Ramos, the same format men fought under, Amanda didn't flinch. She vacated the title in protest, fought anyway, and won. Every punch became a statement. Equality was not negotiable. It was overdue. February 2023 brought yet another historic moment. Against Erica Cruz, for belts were on the line, and Serrano fought her way into history once more, becoming Puerto Rico's first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Yet, despite all the victories, one name lingered over every achievement: Katie Taylor. Their first meeting in 2022 was electric. 10 rounds of calculated violence, of skill pitted against skill, left the crowd in awe. Taylor won by split decision, but Amanda claimed a moral victory in the hearts of millions. A rematch was scheduled for 2024, delayed by unforeseen events, and finally realized in November at AT&T Stadium, Texas. 50 million viewers watched on Netflix as Amanda brought the heat, pushing Taylor to the limit. Once again, Taylor edged it on the scorecards, but the fire Amanda had ignited in the sport was undeniable. Serrano's dominance was not confined to boxing. She crossed into MMA, undefeated with 2 wins and a draw, blending jiu-jitsu and kickboxing seamlessly with her striking expertise. Submissions, control, adaptability. Headlines praised her not just as a boxer, but as a complete combat artist. She even flirted with pro wrestling, training alongside veterans and hinting at future appearances in the squared circle. Her ambition knew no bounds. As she steps back into the ring on August 21st in Temecula, California, Amanda Serrano will put her WBA and WBO featherweight titles on the line against Lucrecia Annabella Manzur in a scheduled 12-round title fight, streamed live on TikTok. Outside the ring, Amanda Serrano's life is as disciplined as her fighting style, quiet, purposeful, almost private enough to feel like a secret. In a world obsessed with flash and oversharing, she moves untouched by the noise. No entourage, no scandals, not even a cell phone to distract her from the mission she's chosen. Love, for Amanda, is secondary to mastery. She's never been in a relationship, rarely lets anyone pass the wall she's built, and protect her focus with almost military precision. Some assume her trainer, Jordan Maldonado, is more than family, but he's her brother-in-law, married to her sister Cindy, and a fellow architect of her boxing empire. What does triumph look like when every ounce of your life has been sacrificed for greatness? For Amanda Serrano, it isn't flashing lights or Hollywood spectacle. It's a quiet house in Carolina, Puerto Rico, tucked beneath the ocean breeze, where the voices of loved ones remind her of where she came from. A home that wasn't about show, but about roots, about a life finally grounded after years of fighting across continents for respect and recognition. Luxury in her world isn't loud. It's deliberate. Her Ford Explorer Platinum Edition wasn't just a car. It was a mile marker. Every polished surface reflected brutal training camps, sleepless nights, and moments where she bet everything on herself and won. Rolls-Royces and McLarens now sit in her driveway, exotic symbols of a career few could imagine, yet Amanda wears them lightly. They aren't trophies to flaunt. They are reminders of discipline rewarded, a quiet testament to her Brooklyn toughness and Puerto Rican pride. Yet her wealth is measured not by what she owns, but by what she gives. In 2023, she vacated her WBC title when they refused to grant equal rounds for women, proving principle outweighed prestige. She mentors young fighters in Puerto Rico. And in 2024, she authored a bilingual children's book, giving voice to those who feel overlooked, shy, or unheard. Even amid mansions and exotic cars, Amanda's life is still defined by structure, training, and purpose, a balance few can achieve. So if this is what success looks like for someone who has earned every luxury through sweat and sacrifice, the question becomes, with the world finally watching and her legacy cemented, what new heights will Amanda Serrano aim for next? Her story is more than titles and paydays. It's a tapestry of moments, choices, and principles that few outside the ring truly understand. She isn't just a boxer. She's a multi-sport warrior. Her fists have rewritten history, but her vision extends beyond belts. She's shaping the future of women's boxing through her lifetime deal with Most Valuable Promotions, mentoring fighters, and ensuring that the next generation won't face the barriers she once did. Amanda Serrano isn't just rewriting records. She's redefining what it means to be a champion. Fierce, principled, multidimensional. And as the world watches her legacy unfold, one question remains. If she's already conquered every ring and every obstacle, what new heights will she aim for next? Before you go, if you want to support the channel and be part of what we're building, consider becoming a channel member through the link in the description. Members get early access to new videos, the chance to suggest future topics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more long-form boxing documentaries like this one. And when you're ready, check out our deep dive into Anthony Joshua, another career shaped by dominance, discipline, and legacy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next chapter.